Well, still under differentiation 1, we're going to look at derivative notation, that is f dash function. So in the statement we know that it is given that if f is a function, then its derivative function is f dash. So there is hyphen here to show that it is a derivative of that very function. And now when we come to our NB here, we denote it that f dash is the same as dy dx of a function. So in the previous lesson, we were looking at how we can differentiate y with respect to x. So when we're getting dy dx, we get the derivative. And the same way we're going to get a derivative in form of a function. For this one, it will not be in terms of y, but it will be in terms of function, of which is found up here. So let us move straight to example 1. We see how we can go about with it. So in our example 1 here, the question says that find the derivative of the following functions. So that part A, we have f of x, which is the same as x to power 3. So x to power 3. Now what we do, instead of writing the function when we are doing it, we just put f power hyphen, okay, f dash. So this f dash means the derivative of the function, which is up here. So without including very many steps, let us move straight by writing the expression for the derivative of this function. It will be f dash. So in that case, we differentiate this one here to get the derivative. So since it is x to power 3, we drop the x down. We drop the power down, we drop this power down. When we drop the power down, the 3 will come here. Now when 3 is here, then we write our x with the power being subtracted, where the power 1 has been subtracted from it. So for the derivative, we do it the same way we have been doing with dy dx. So we simply drop down the power and subtract the power by 1 to get the new power, as indicated here. So that in the last step, we just simplify. And now, when we are simplifying it, we just subtract the power as we have said it. So which means 3 minus 1 will now be 2. And the rest here remains the same. So it's just very easy. What you do from the expression for x to power 3, just drop down the 3, you subtract the power by 1 to get the new power as shown here. Then finally, we summarize the answer and we underline. So that is for part A. So let us go to part B. In our part B, we have our B as being f of x is the same as 3x squared then plus 4x. So with that one, we move straight with the solution. So we are going to differentiate 3x squared. When we differentiate 3x squared, we just drop down the power, which is 2. When it comes down, we multiply by the coefficient of 3 to make what? To make 6. So this one will be 6x because the power will be subtracted. 1 should be subtracted from the power to make x to power 1. So that is it. So that in the next one here we have 4. The next one we have 4x. So in our 4x here, when we differentiate, we get 4. And that is the derivative function of f of x. That is how it is supposed to be. So now let us go to part C. Let's go to part C. Still part C is down here. So we are just going to do it in a few steps. So in part C, we know that part C is given as f of x, which is the same as 3x cubed, then plus 4x squared, then minus 2x, then plus 5. So we are differentiating it in that order. So now let us find the derivative function of f, derivative function of x. So what we do in front here should contain the value of x to show that it is a derivative function of x. Derivative function of x, what we do when we come up in the C here, we shall derive 3x cubed. So when we derive, we bring the power down, we multiply it by the coefficient to get 9x squared. So this one, when we differentiate this one, 4x squared, we shall get 8x. This one also, when we differentiate this one, 2x, we shall get negative 2. So here will be negative 2. So now in overall, the answer is going to be 9x squared plus 8x minus 2 is the answer for part C. So let us go to part D. In our part D, we have f. This f here supposed to be, it is supposed to be f of x. X should be in the bracket in front of x. So our f of x is going to be 6x to power 2 out of 3, then plus 2x to power 3 out of 2. So what we do, we differentiate this one. When we differentiate 6x to power 2 out of 3, before we start differentiating, we must first make sure we introduce a bracket as indicated below here. This is the work we have just copied. And for the function here, in front of function, letter x must be there to show that it is a function of x. So that when we are getting the derivative, we get in form of x. So we have just put the bracket here to make differentiating it easier. So we can move to the next step and see how we can do that. So now when we come here and we want to get the derivative, what we do, this f should be f of x, which is the same as 6x power 2 out of 3, so that when we differentiate inside the bracket, we shall have 2 out of 3x. Then this one inside this bracket, we shall have also drop down the power to make 3 out of 2x. So for that one, we multiply in each case to open the bracket. We multiply this bracket, we open this bracket, then we open the other bracket. So when we open the first bracket here, this one by 3 here, 3 divided by 3, we get 1. Then 6 divided by 3, we get 2. So this 2 times the 2 inside, we get 4. It will be 4x to power negative 1 out of 3, because the power was initially 2 out of 3. So that 2 out of 3, when we subtract 1 from it, we get negative, we get negative 1 out of 3, which is this one here. So when we come this side also, we can reduce this one by 2 here. 1, then 2 divided by 2, we get 1. Then 1 times 3, get negative. We get 3. So now in this one here, all of this one you differentiate, you get 3x to power 1 out of 3. So our answer finally is 4x to power negative 3, then plus 3x to power a third. So that is that. So now let us go ahead and see the exercise. So when we are dealing with the exercise, we have some few numbers here that you need to try, and send me the answers in the comment. So in our exercise, the instruction says that find the derivative of each of the following functions. The part A, we have f of x, which is the same as 2x cubed plus 4x squared, then minus 12. This one you can just do it from your brain, then you just write the answer. But since it is a question which is given in this form, then you must first write some few steps to show your method in order for you to get all the marks. The marks which are for that number. And now part B here, we have f of x is equal to 9x power 5 plus 5x to power 2 out of 5. So we can also check on the third one here. Then the third one, we also have part C is f of x is equals to x power 4 plus 3x power negative 2, then minus 8. And each of these, when you are doing, you put f of x, you put x in bracket in front of f, so that you know that it is the function we are dealing with. And now when you are getting the derivative, so on top of f, you put dash to show that you are getting the derivative. Then you put x, then is equals to, then you differentiate each letter. Each of the terms there, you're going to differentiate them. Then you write to make the answer. So if there is any question, you send us in the comment. So don't forget to subscribe. And this is the examples and the exercise we have. So was this subtopic helpful? If it was helpful to you, send us a message, notify us in the comment. And if not, you can also send us your concern. Thank you. I beg to stop there. But don't forget to check on other things on our website of Learn with Angelas at youtube.com. Thank you.